Every Alaskan has a bear story. Should I start with a true one of mine? The grizzly bear stood there, 5 feet away, his enormous head visible through the thin plastic sheet over the window in the old cabin door. He was turning the doorknob with his teeth. In a moment, he would burst through. Nah, I'll tell about it later. I first saw the 600-mile length of southeastern Alaska from the air and then on shore while on a business trip, as part of my job counseling high school students about career choices. As we landed and took off from the 5 main towns, I looked down on islands, tiny one-tree rocks, islets with sand beaches and coves, a 10-acre isle with a pond, huge trees, and a point for watching both sunrise and sunset. Islands with no one on them. An island is a finite thing, a concept of romance and solitude. From Calypso's island, Ogygia, in Homer's Odyssey, to Suvaro in Tom Neal's An Island to Oneself. Southeastern Alaska has more than 1,000 islands. 4 of the 5 largest towns are on islands. For years, I had searched for a combination of mountains, wilderness, and sea, and here it was. Clear, quiet water, snow-capped ridges and peaks, small bays, all in the Inside Passage, sheltered from the storms of the open North Pacific. Ferries, freighters, fishing boats, and cruise ships all used it. So could I. Most of the land was within the boundaries of the 16-million-acre Tongass National Forest, the largest national forest in the United States. There seemed to be total wilderness only 10 miles away from any town, and the towns were more than 100 miles apart. That left a lot of space to paddle and explore and camp. Since 1967, between jobs, or whenever I could squeeze in a vacation, I'd been voyaging in inflatable canoes. Most of my trips had been along the more remote shores of the Hawaiian Islands, Kona, Napali, Hamakua, and Hana, with many along the 3,000-foot-high cliff coast that forms the north shore of Molokai. I'd written a book about that coast, Paddling My Own Canoe, now printed by Patagonia Books. There had also been paddle trips in Samoa, Norway, Greece, Scotland, and Maine. The choices were clear. I could paddle solo from Seattle to Skagway, an established route for fishing boats, ferries, and gold seekers. The 2 names together had a twangy alliteration. Both were Native American, reminders of the Haida and Tlingit people who had paddled cedar canoes for centuries along the misty shores. Skagway was a suitable destination. A classic photo showed hundreds of men toiling up the icy slopes of the Chilkoot Trail, who later paddled down the Yukon River to the goldfields. The second choice would be to go guncoling, as boaters say, prowling in and out of tiny coves, omitting all of British Columbia for now, and instead starting at Ketchikan, the southernmost town, and meandering north to Skagway, the northernmost. I could connect a roundabout route of hot springs, old cabins, small islands, and resupply towns. I could trace parts of the historic voyages of Cook, Lisiansky, Vancouver, and Muir. Find the locales of some favorite books, search for mushrooms, and try to communicate with such endearing animals as whales, otters, and loons. I wasn't yet figuring to communicate with grizzly bears.